What we were trying to do from an NSF perspective is recognize whether there was existing code language already in place for these types of products or evaluation criteria to assess the system. We found a serious dearth or lack of information. There was a couple references in the Las Vegas Public Health Code that basically just said systems should be circulated and treated in between users. That cycle should be at least 5 minutes long. There was other requirements alluding to slip-resistant surfaces for the user to step upon. There were some other references that were non-quantifiable and quite vague about ventilation issues. What we tried to do is utilize some of the traditional NSF Standard 50 criteria, as well as other existing criteria that might be taken from the spa and swim spa evaluation, and put together an appropriate potential evaluation criteria set for a flotation system. However, there may be some issues that still should be considered. So what we were trying to do is, again, look at how the whole system works to assess its disinfection efficacy using the traditional Pseudomonas aeruginosa and Enterococcus faecium bugs that we use under Annex H. But do the testing a little bit different, such that instead of just adding those organisms at 10 to the 6th dose rate into the tank and then running it through the filtration and treatment stream and then sampling on the output, we actually sampled from the tank. So letting the water go through, but always sampling from where the organisms were put in. So it's a very conservative setup. But the next presenter will kind of get into their thoughts and suggestions on this draft criteria that was created. But the intent of the draft criteria was to have it reviewed by this group to see if it should be further developed or considered before it could become potentially used by public health authorities or others to help with specification of the system or evaluation and operating and maintaining such a system. Because they exist, but there's a real lack of criteria. And I think we'd all recognize that could be a problem. There was historically a lack of criteria for things like the spray parts and spray pads. And when those things were not regulated or properly monitored, bad things happened. In 2005, Seneca Falls, and anyone, I don't think we have any New York public health officials here, but they all remember that all too clearly, that those things were just kind of let slide and go and not being kind of monitored properly or managed effectively. So it seems like it would be prudent to develop some criteria, and this seems like the appropriate group to consider it.
Crash. Come on up.
Thank you. Thank you very much in the first place for allowing us to come here and have this opportunity to express our perspective over to you all, because it's important to us that we're all cohesive on this. The main interest and concern that's come to us is based on the disinfection methodology used in swimming pools and hot tubs or recreational water in general. These systems are all requiring parts per million of the residual. Now, we're not big on that. We're in a small enclosed area with 250 gallons of solution, and we're turning it around fast, and we're using a lot of ozone and a lot of UV. So to add a chemical in there for a single use is a redundant thought at best. The other aspects of inserting this material have to do with the disinfectant byproducts mixing with the organic material, which I'm sure everybody's all aware of all that. But for our particular usage now, which is a single use, if your primary and secondary disinfection systems are operating correctly and both certified for 3-log kill individually, if they're both operating together, I can't understand a purpose for chemicals. You're going in there to be with yourself. So if your primary and secondary systems are already certified to do the 3-log kill, then we feel that that's sufficient. Now the problem that generates is the inability then to monitor the parts per million in the solution to get the get the facts, get the reality of the situation. So it kind of worked for us in both ways. The solution now at NSF, while they were trying to determine how long to run the feeder for, the chemical feeder there, to insert the residual, they found that they were unable to determine the parts per million accurately in the solution. So now we have the situation. We have, Skeeter Williams and JoJo, McGee, and they're dumping chemicals in here now to this solution that somebody's in, with no ability to monitor what they're doing. There's no method of monitoring the parts per million in this solution. Yet the regulatory systems now are still reliant on this style of verification in recreational water facilities. So, lucky for us, this ORP is working well. This is what we can do now to fix this situation. We're concerned with liability. I'm sure you all, what do we do in New York, the liability, who's liable? So what we did, after we found out that there was no way to legitimately monitor the effectiveness of this cleaning system, we then, Kevin, over here, he's the guy, the scientist that has determined a lot of these facts for us, amongst other things that we've changed around as well, including the based on life testing, which was the thing we just heard about. Life testing turned out to be very important for us because we found two of our components didn't make the life testing. They made the initial testing, but they didn't make the life testing. So we had to switch them out, which made the system stronger. And some other things too we found out that we adjusted to make it better, including then the ability to monitor the ORP. So see, we've done is made a sensor now. The sensor here, as you know, how these sensors probably work, you have to put it in the sensor juice there so it doesn't, so it's stored, so it's properly stored. This is a BNC connector, disconnect. And this is the monitor here. This monitor is ORP. So we take this, we put it in line on the return chamber, where the material goes back into the chamber. So it goes through. We're also using triple filtration. The first, we're using the Pentair system. The first one in line is the 10 micron diatomaceous earth filter. Secondary system is a 5 micron, and then the third is the half a micron. So these are 150-foot mediums, so they're triple. And then the system is running about 95 gallons a minute. So this sensor, so this is a twist lock connector here. So this would go in the pipe, you stick it right into the pipe there. You put the sensor in like that, just run this over, and then watch the ORP go up. And once you get to 700, you have your 3 log, equivalency. So you can monitor it, and then once you get to 700, you're done. What else would you think that would be a good idea from there? To add something in there, I don't know why, you see. So that is the point that we're so very happy to bring into focus here for you folks, because of the liability involved in blind dosing these people in these environments that are using underrated equipment in a commercial venue, and then somehow saying, well, we don't know enough about it to make correct decisions for health and safety. I would like to be available to anybody to bring into focus any kind of concerns or thoughts or any other input pertaining to what it is that we're doing here and how we can do it any better. But as far as the CCS code goes now, what we're trying to do, or CCS standard is, we want to eliminate a lot of this. It has to do with the chemical feeders and the it's up there, right? Is this the right thing? See, we're stretching out all the stuff. That's the point I'm trying to make. it doesn't pertain to us. We don't require chemical dousing in our system. And we would like to, have that carried over into the standard, the CSCS code. I think that is the part that goes back into the liability is these other contraptions that are out there. Here's one city had a pod overheat and melt into oblivion. We're now in the process of claiming our insurance. This is by another manufacturer that bought these things, and now once again, every opening a center just has a chat. I was a new dog, so I was easily lured by shiny pods and promises of flawless construction. And it goes on. And I don't really want to sling mud at anybody, but it's an example of improper stewardship. These people that are now in a position to present this technology to people are not doing it in a way that's safe. There's a lot of, there was another video we watched. This guy, they said, hey, how often do you throw this water out? He goes, oh, it's expensive, it's $800. I don't like to throw it out, about every 4 months. So you're thinking, okay now, so you're going to throw $800 your money out today, and the drain goes. That yesterday, you said it was okay to charge somebody to come in there and get in this thing. And this to me is unacceptable. It doesn't roll well with me, or our company, the people involved with our company, because we try hard to get everything the best it can be. All of our components have been, like I said, we're certified, so they can do it for $12. But it isn't an effective system. It doesn't work right. It's dangerous. If somebody gets hurt in one of these things, they're not going to say, oh, the scooter pie is great. It's made by, whoever. They're going to say, killed in a deprivation chamber or something. And then it's like, oh, here's all the work that we've done, getting the electrical certification done, getting the disinfection situation squared away properly, making the whole thing a viable industry. And as you all noticed today, there was 2 phone calls that came in here pertaining to this industry. And we need to get busy on regulating it. Please, we want to help, and we want to make it a strong industry that lasts and is credible, not by a bunch of whatever in their garage or whoever else this is, whatever they're up to. We want to do it right. We want to present a product into the marketplace and have the backing of the authorities and work with them, even if we have to provide whatever we have to do to be able to solidify our agreement with the arranged policies that we're able to get set up. We got the test report of salt too. We sent that around there. You'll find that some folks say, oh, the salt kills everything. Yeah, here's that. That's not the case. I think that's about it. I don't know if I'll tire you any long day, but Rich, am I good like that? Any questions?